here, and today we're talking about the idea of Xbox because
My
currently they just
airbox. My airbox is dead. I should have traded my Series X for PlayStation 5 Pro, man.
had the worst year ever for the console. In the last couple decades of Xbox existing, they've never had 12
Man,
months.
what are you talking about, bro? They had Diablo 4, Indiana Jones, Call of Duty, even games that you ponies have benefited from, and you want to sit there and still continue to say that Xbox has no games.
So few games, such low Game Pass subscriptions, the console sales are actually in the toilet, but
Bro, you say this every single video.
Xbox
They did,
has
man.
a secret weapon in
What?
mind. I want to talk though. Let's discuss
What's
why
that?
I am actually and honestly
I thought
extremely curious
What?
and excited for next year.
I thought Xbox was dead though. I thought you said it'd be only 60 days and by the next year they'd be finished. And now we out here talking about how they have a good roadmap for 2025. All I'm getting from this video is the fact that you PlayStation fanboys have been that salty to the point where you guys knew it was getting good for Xbox, baby. You knew we was getting the good quality games all provided to us through Game Pass Ultimate, and all you people wanted to do was hate on it.
Comes to Xbox, but let's dig into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe. Is literally measurably in a very bad spot. They've actually just broken their own record for how low sales are getting.
Oh yeah, and Sony broke their own record with Until Dawn remake selling worse than Concord, which also happened to be a failure that came out and lasted only 2 weeks, man. What is wrong with you ponies, bro? You guys want to sit there and act like PlayStation had the most magnificent year when you guys have probably had more flops this year than you had last year. So I'm failing to understand what you're talking about, man.
Last year, they were already down an incredible amount, and the numbers have gone down from there. So literally, we're at a point where Xbox sales, they really can't go lower. I mean, we're in the fractions of a percent here. Things are getting abysmally bad.
Now, why does this actually matter? The fact that Microsoft still has this certain amount of Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, of course, they would like to see that increase over time, but if you guys feel that it's become stagnant and they're not getting any more new users, that doesn't take away the fact of all the money that they're accumulating for the people that are still playing on it. And I think this is where we have this argument, because you guys are acting as if, oh, they're supposed to have more subscription numbers, when in reality, Microsoft doesn't necessarily care about that. As long as they're getting money from Xbox, PC, as well as you ponies, I think Microsoft is perfectly fine with their new strategy.
When it comes to Xbox, their whole thing is, oh, it's not about the console, it's about Game Pass. We're the
Well,
Xbox.
that's kind of the whole purpose of a game console. I mean, the fact that you say it's behind Game Pass is even more of a reason to say, oh, wow, it's about video games. At least they're not saying it's Hulu and Netflix.
It's Game Pass brand. We're just trying to get you to subscribe, and as long as you're signing up, then we still consider that a W.
Yeah.
But that experiment, that idea, it hasn't really been working out definitely as much as Xbox expected. In fact, I like this Forbes title here. Xbox Game Pass is running out of wells to dig up new subscribers. Because, yeah.
Oh, really? Where did this... You know what? Paul Tassi. Is this where you guys are getting your information from? That's funny that Paul Tassi says that, considering that they're getting all their money from you PlayStation fanboys that choose to opt out to buy Xbox games over your very own titles. See, is this where you guys getting all your information from? Forbes? I mean, how many times have you guys heard Paul Tassi? I mean, at this point, I know these guys more than the CEOs that work at Sony. This is ridiculous.
Xbox is in a strange spot because the original idea was, okay, buy an Xbox and then you don't have to buy games, right? You get Game Pass and you get every game, like every first party.
You can tell this dude's even laughing in his own video, man. You can't take this dude seriously anymore, man. At this point, all this dude is doing is grifting, man. But I'm still going to cover it because there's still a lot of these ponies out there that still believe the lies of this man. Like, it's crazy, bro. We need more people calling this guy out, man. Like, I mean, if you guys are an adamant fan of his channel, please make a channel dedicated to talking about the lies of what's going on in this channel, man. Because, I mean, at this point, bro, we can clearly see that you're lying. You're even like giggling in the middle of what you're saying because you know what you're saying has no substance.
By some third party, but if you get Call of Duty, Indiana Jones, and Flight Sim, and
which all happen to be games,
that'll keep you pretty happy, right? Well, it turns out that idea has not been working because people aren't buying an Xbox. If people aren't getting an Xbox...
What are you talking about? They don't need to buy an Xbox to have this strategy be successful. Isn't that where you ponies come in to buy all these games that we're not buying? And the funny thing is, all you have to do is take a calculator and times 35 million active users through Game Pass Ultimate and subscribe that by $180 a year, and you will see that Microsoft is making a lot of money. Okay, at this point, they don't even have to sell you games. They could take the money at the end of the year and use that to fund other projects. And I think this is something that a lot of these ponies are not understanding. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I know you guys have graduated from PlayStation Fanboy mathematics from the 1990s, but things are a lot different now.
It seems like very few people are getting Xbox Game Pass, even if it is for PC. But what's crazy is that whenever I talk about how bad Xbox is doing, a lot of times people say, well, it's not the end. Xbox will continue to exist. And I think that is correct. But
oh, really? Because the last time I checked, you said Xbox was dead.
Even though I see talks, right now there is some rumblings that Mark Cerny is currently working on the PlayStation 6. There is talks right now that a new guy is currently in charge of making the next Xbox.
But I thought you guys said Xbox wouldn't last another year, just to find out that we still have a console in development. So what is the point? So you're trying to tell me out of the 2 years of bashing the Xbox brand that it was all for nothing? Gabe still with another W.
I don't think this comes down to next gen. I think this comes down to the battle.
Uh-oh. Is he going to say it, guys? The battle of service and subscriptions?
Go in a different direction.
Oh, here it comes.
Portable.
Oh, portable? This man don't want to give me my credit, bro. You gonna sit there and say portables is the reason for that? Man, most people that play on PC ain't playing on no laptop, bro. What are you talking about, bro? They're playing on essentially a home entertainment system. And you don't hear these complaints and these same arguments going on in regards to PC gaming. Bro, you is capping right now, bro.
I'm getting ahead of myself here. So,
yeah, of course.
The original inspiration for this video is that I have seen this interesting groundswell of hype for the last 2 months. People talking about Stalker 2 and Indiana Jones releasing in November and December. And people are saying it's really weird that this is so good after the worst year ever. In fact, I've seen people saying, like Stalker fans saying, it's insane. They released this game and they keep patching it. They keep updating it.
Oh, so you guys are mad at the fact that they're trying to fix and update the game that you guys said was broken? I mean, if you ask me, that's a lot better than them completely shutting down the game like they did Concord. But okay, by all means.
I'm a Stalker hater. I don't like survival games. Even if Stalker 2 is the best game ever, I know a lot of fans are happy with it. Anytime that, actually consider that, right? Sony did incredibly good this year. They sold...
Oh, really? Sony did incredibly good this year, bro. I mean, even most PlayStation... Bro, their best game, which happened to be Game of the Year, which is Astrobot, only sold 1.5 million. Are you going to sit there and act like Until Dawn Remake and Concord did not exist, bro? Those are two of the most biggest flops that we've ever seen in the gaming community, and you're acting as if these games did not exist for Sony.
Crazy.
And the funny thing is about that, 2 of those projects are single-handedly owned by Sony themselves, and those games flopped.
Crazy amount of consoles. Yeah, they had Concord, which has got to be the most expensive financial failure ever in the history of video games, but I do find it interesting that for 2025, what is PlayStation doing? They showed that cool...
What have they been doing for the past 2 years? What have they done in 2024 this year? PlayStation ain't done nothing either.
Trailer for Intergalactic, but that's coming out in 2027 is the rumor, so we're not seeing that for years and years.
Well, you already know what that means. They're going to be continuing to play Xbox games until those games come out, man. I mean, Microsoft had so many games. They're like, you know what, ponies? We can't do you guys like that. We see what Sony's doing to y'all. We'll bless you guys with Doom, Dark Ages, and a few of our games like Outer Worlds probably drop it on your platform in 6 months because we can't do that to the gaming community. You know, I mean, you got to think about how boring it would be to have a PlayStation 5 and not having access to any of your good games until 2027.
3 years from now. And honestly, people hate that trailer, so I know I'm alone to be excited about it. But when I look at this infographic, I do get excited. I get actually extremely curious in
Oh,
a
really?
way I haven't been for Xbox games in a very long time, right? Now, let's just get this out of the way. These games are all coming to PlayStation. Every single one of these. Even if they don't currently have a release date or a schedule or a window, these games are all coming to PlayStation.
And how do you know that? How do you know that? What proof do you have to prove that?
There is already a bunch of leaks from all the biggest Xbox leakers that
And because of, okay, but like I said, even if that's the case, let's play devil's advocate. Those games will all be played first on what, guys? The Xbox. I mean, what are we doing here, man? At the end of the day, people are not going to want to sit here and wait to play these games, especially if they ain't got no games on PlayStation. See, now this wouldn't be a problem if Sony actually had games. Then you guys could afford to wait the 6 months, like kind of like what PC dudes do with your games. But PlayStation has nothing. So if you guys have no other option but to wait for these games because Intergalactic comes out in 2027. Are you serious? Bro, I'm telling you, man, greatness awaits. Sony couldn't have chosen a better slogan besides greatness awaits, because we're still waiting for it.
Microsoft pretty much got told, hey, this stuff, if it's going to be profitable, we got to branch out. We got to put it on PlayStation. So the Outer Worlds 2 trailer already has a PlayStation 2 logo on it. Doom the Dark Ages has already been confirmed for PlayStation, but let's just be hypothetical here, right? That if these games are hyped, if they're properly conveyed, if they're marketed real hard, I think there is an interesting idea if they even say, hey, get it on Game Pass today or get it in 6 months on PlayStation. I do think this might help entice people to at least look into getting an Xbox. Or even if
what are you not understanding? Microsoft don't need to promote nothing. Huh? I'm confused, man. He reminds me of that commercial they had with Crash Bandicoot talking behind Nintendo. Hey, plumber boy. Bro, get your mind out of the 90s, bruh. Nobody cares.
They don't get an Xbox. It might entice people who have a gaming PC to look into PC Game Pass. Now, I think the reason this is interesting is that I think there might be a bigger demographic than you would expect of people like me, where I have a gaming PC, I've got my PlayStation 5, and I've got my Xbox, right? If a game is really good on Game Pass, I buy it on PlayStation. I've done this multiple times now.
Oh, you hear that, guys? You're giving Microsoft your money. You hear that? Let's rewind that. Listen.
I've got my PlayStation 5, and I've got my Xbox, right? If a game is really good on Game Pass, I buy it on PlayStation.
You know what's funny? He even goes as far to say that he's not even subscribed to Game Pass. And I'm going to show you. This dude is nothing but a fake, bro. The fact that you guys still watch this dude's channel after how many times I've exposed this fool goes to show you that you people are just... I really can't help you no more, man. But hey, we're all going to enjoy the laughs, man, because he even goes as far to say that I don't even have Game Pass Ultimate. But then you go as far to say that you do.
I've done this multiple times now. And in this case, I have already gotten to see some top secret gameplay for Doom the Dark Ages. I made a video talking about that, but I was at QuakeCon 2024. They locked the doors. They made us... If that game comes out first on Xbox, and then they say, hey, this is coming out in 3 months, 6 months, whatever, on PlayStation 5, you bet your ass I'm going to play that in Game Pass. Right now, I'm not subscribed to Game Pass.
But you heard what he just said? But I'm not subscribed to it. You just sat there and said... Like, do we have to rewind this? You just said that that you have Game Pass Ultimate, but now you say I'm not subscribed to it. But then you go as far to say, well, I pick up games that I played on Game Pass Ultimate on my PlayStation 5, bro. You are a bona fide liar.
I will sign up to Game Pass, beat that on my Xbox, buy it again on my PlayStation, and then platinum it on my PlayStation.
And you're giving Microsoft more of your money. You ain't nothing. See, this is what Microsoft did, man. Thank you, Microsoft, for doing this, because all they did was single-handedly destroy the fanboy argument. And you guys are also paying them twice amount of the money just for being a fanboy. Did you hear what he just said? I'm gonna play through Game Pass Ultimate, and then I'm gonna go again and buy it on my PlayStation 5. While all your exclusive games are dying, and you guys rather support Microsoft instead. There you go.
To be honest, the other Doom games have really tough platinum, so maybe I won't platinum it, but I'm curious how many people would double dip if your primary place to play is the PlayStation.
Well, apparently that ain't the case if you're telling me all the games you're looking forward to happen to be Xbox games.
Then these games, if they look good, you're definitely going to pick them up, right? But I almost think that what Xbox should do is brag more, right?
What?
I've talked about this.
Why does Microsoft have to brag? Why does that even matter, bro? You know what's funny? You know what they say about people that brag? They ain't really got nothing going on. That's why Sony does it. Nintendo's not bragging about how we got over 100 million Nintendo Switches and 80 million sold of Mario Kart 8. Because you know why? There's no reason for them to brag because they don't care. The reason why Sony brags because y'all ain't got nothing to show, so you want to give the gamer some form of excitement with these little fanboy narratives that nobody really cares about.
I feel like part of the success of Sony, of the PlayStation 4 specifically, was that
you heard what he said, the PS4 specifically. Bro, that console came out in 2013. That is completely irrelevant as to what's going on with PS5. You guys are holding on to the PS4 generation. It is over. Nobody cares, bro. It's like you guys are using this to cap, man. It's like if a dude said, "Oh well, you know the Wii U's a failure and it's a flop, but the Wii outsold the Wii." Bro, that was last generation, bro. What are you doing, bro? Like, you look stupid when you do this as an argument. Because we're talking about a complete whole new generation, and you want to sit there and talk about the old system. That's like a Nintendo fan say, "Oh, you know, the Wii U is trash, man. That didn't sell. It got no good games. But the Wii did. The Wii sold." Like, bro, what are you doing?
Would brag. A game comes out. Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Oh, here we go. Another PS4 game.
Uncharted or God of War. Or
PS4 game.
Spider-Man 20.
God of War. PS4 game. You guys still haven't got past the PS4 generation, and that's why Sony is failing now. The PS4 was the last good PlayStation, and yes, I said it on my channel. I don't care if you want to call me an Xbox fanboy all you want, but the PS4 was the last great PlayStation console. The end. PlayStation from this point forward will be nothing but a failure. I can guarantee it.
Really good DLC and stuff like that. And they would say, "Hey, here's our big game. Here's our crazy release. Here's why you should be excited about our console," right?
Our console, you hear that? The way he put his hand to his chest. Our console. Well, be quiet. Our console.
18 with
Look at it. Look what he pounded his chest, man. I'm surprised his heart didn't stop.
And they would say, "Hey, here's our big game.
Look at
here's
this.
our crazy release. Here's why you should be excited about our console."
Look at this man pounding. My console. My console. Bro, grow up. What are you doing? You hear this dude, man? I gotta rewind this, bro. I want to do it in slow-mo. My
And in
console.
2018 with its incredibly good DLC and stuff like that. And they would say, "Hey, here's our big game. Here's our crazy release. Here's why you should be excited about our console."
Bro, you hear that, man? You hear the meat hit, the meat hit off this shit. My console. Bro, come on, bro. You too old. This man clenching his fist so hard, talking about my console. You sure? You sure it's your console? Because the last time I checked, you ripped off your girlfriend with a PlayStation 5 Slim, used Slim, with 2 controllers of stick drift and some used $2.99 games you got at GameStop, bro. Just to get played because the PS5 Pro weren't worth a damn thing because the games barely have an upgrade. My console.
Right? I feel like Xbox doesn't do that. Their stupid campaign of,
they don't do it, huh?
"This is an Xbox."
Why would they need to do it? Why would they need to do it when they got you PlayStation fanboys promoting Xbox over every day? Look at this.
Why you should be excited about our console.
Our console, bro. The way he does that, bro. He does it with so much enthusiasm. My console!
I feel like Xbox doesn't do that. They're stupid.
Xbox don't need to do that because there's no reason for them to brag because they single-handedly own the gaming industry. What is there to brag about? We got $3 trillion this year. What is there to brag about?
Campaign of, this is an Xbox.
Y'all got little man syndrome. That's what's going on. You ever see those dudes at lifting at Planet Fitness and they got the muscles, but yet they still small and the girls still don't want them? That's exactly what y'all do. You guys got little man syndrome. The girls at the gym don't want you. They either say 6 feet or above. Sorry. And I'm not trying to make fun of any little man out there, but this is just more of a joke and a reference. Bro, grow up.
Your phone is an Xbox. Your Nintendo Switch is an Xbox.
Well, I mean, clearly your PS5 is an Xbox if you're looking forward to playing Xbox games in 6 months.
That does not convey, hey, this is an Xbox, and it shows games.
What do you think Game Pass is all about?
What Microsoft does is cranks all these out. I hope these games don't suck, because, God, that would freaking...
Well, I mean, the only reason why you hyped up for them because they're getting a PS5 release. But we already know if these games was locked to the Xbox platform, you would be bashing every single one of these games, including Doom Dark Ages. Ain't nobody want to hear this coming from you, man.
But more than that, I hope that Microsoft actually hypes us up, because some of these games, they keep little drip feeding. I did not love PC gaming for the longest time. Even when I had a good PC because of editing videos and stuff, I didn't really play on my PC. I would play, specifically, I would always play either on my Xbox or I'd play on my PlayStation.
What? You just said you never cared enough to play on Xbox just to find out that you've been playing on it for the whole time? You hear this dude, bro? This dude ain't nothing but a bona fide liar.
All my friends got PS5, so we'd all play games together, right? But this Steam Deck...
I mean, that's cool though, Dreamcast guy, but as long as you don't play on my console, we all right.
Really opened my eyes to ease of use. The fact that Steam games automatically have cloud saves, they have automatic button configurations, they have... honestly, this thing is insane. You can also program it. I've got mine completely filled with ROMs.
Well, I could do that on my Xbox Series X, man. And yeah, it was so fun. I could play more PlayStation games on my Xbox Series X than you can play on your PS5 while y'all waiting for achievements for your little PS1 and 2 games. I mean, even with enhancements, mind you. And you ain't never gave credit towards Microsoft for that.
Mine so I can play Super Nintendo. I can play the original Resident Evil on this.
And we can do that on our Xboxes. Because it's my console!
It is insane that you can have custom startup screens. Actually,
and I can do what I want.
You can actually play. Like I think there's Resident Evil 2, Rule of Rose, Parasite Eve, Vampire Survivors. I've got it set up so I can actually play PlayStation 5 Remote Play. This thing melted my brain, and there is talks that what essentially they're about to reveal is a new version of the Steam Deck. Now, it's not directly made by it, but this thing is going to have the Valve Steam OS, so it's going to work just like the Steam Deck. It's got the Steam Deck co-designer. They're going to reveal this thing on January 7th.
Microsoft.
And Microsoft VP of Marketing Devices is going to be there.
Yo, y'all just got played. I bet y'all ain't catching on, man. Microsoft's Vice President of Xbox Gaming is helping with this device. What do you think that means? That means that you're going to have Xbox games as well as PlayStation games through Steam.
Recognize that name? Jason Ronald.
No more exclusives.
Jason Ronald. I think they're about to release what is essentially an Xbox handheld.
Yeah, an Xbox handheld that's going to have PlayStation games on it because of Steam.
The Xbox.
You just called it an Xbox handheld, right? You heard what he said. The Microsoft VP of Xbox Gaming is working on it. Therefore, it's an Xbox handheld, according to what you said. So if it's an Xbox handheld, then that would mean, because it has Steam OS, that PlayStation games will be on it too. We stole your games.
Handheld. There is talks that Xbox is making the handheld. I think this is a Xbox handheld.
You heard what he said. So you guys can't sit there and say that I'm inserting it. He said it. It's an Xbox handheld that has the Steam OS, which means that PlayStation games will be played on the Xbox handheld. The console wars is over, baby. Let's go.
This thing automatically has the exact same setup of the Steam Deck, but with even better graphics.
Look at that.
Built-in Game
I don't
Pass,
need no PlayStation.
And they really hyped that up. And
Get rid of it.
This has cloud saves. You can play games on your Xbox it automatically goes to the cloud.
You
It
hear that, man?
automatically goes to this. The
You
Legion.
see, this is what they're afraid of. I told you, man. I told you. That's why it only made the perfect sense as to why Sony was dropping their games on Steam, which happens to be run off Microsoft's very own operating system. The console exclusivity is over, baby.
I think there is a good chance that people are going to start paying attention. Now, obviously, that's still a hard bridge. That's not going to be an instant wave your magic wand and is more creative than PlayStation. Because let's face it, Sony would not make a deal like this. But this just...
You just exposed yourself, man. So you heard what he said. This is an Xbox portable. Even the Microsoft VP of Jason Ronald, which he brought up in this video, like he said, he's working on it. This is essentially a Xbox portable, according to Dreamcast, with the Steam operating system, which also means that there will be Xbox games, and there will also be what, guys? PlayStation games all through one device. Gamester with another W. And the fact that PlayStation is having games on that also would mean that they're multi-platform, because let's not forget, this is a Steam... You know what? Now, I'm going to break this argument because I get so sick and tired of hearing it. Because people think it's just PlayStation 4 and 5 and that's it. No, it's PS4 and 5. It's also some bit of Switch and Xbox. Also, Steam Deck. And now this new device that Microsoft is single-handedly behind. That means that Sony don't care about exclusivity either, because if they did, they would lock their games out of these devices. They would lock their games out of the Steam OS. But Sony ain't going to do that. We finally got the product where we can play Xbox and PlayStation games with one another without this console war garbage. Gamester with another W. We are at its infancy stage, and we're starting to see real big fundamental changes going on in gaming. And the fact that you say that the Microsoft very own vice president of Xbox Gaming is behind this device or having some involvement goes to show you that the console war is over. Gamester has won. We have got him. There is nothing they can say about this, man. Let's go. You see, he got his hands up, man. He surrendered already.
How do you guys feel about Xbox?
But it's okay, guys, because like I said, when I go out there and buy one, I just want to make sure I let you guys know that it's my console.